Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hot Fix. Amber had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm stepping back in here for y'all. We've got our second run of the show. We've got Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I'm going to hand it over to Runner Commentary. Let everybody introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Abby. I'll be taking us through Shattered Memories, but I'm not going to do it alone. I brought Shmumbler with me.
Hi.
Yeah. So, this was the best Western developed Silent Hill until very recently. But I hope you're all ready to see aliens and a dog, as well as James. But spoilers. Alright, so in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run. So, this game gives a warning about being psychologically profiled. Keep in mind, Kaufman's a jerk. Don't pay attention to anything he's saying. Every answer we're giving is specifically for the speed run, to get done the fastest as possible.
Listen, Kaufman may be a professional, but he's a professional gaslighter, not a therapist.
Fair enough. Yeah, so this was the second Western developed Silent Hill game. This one was actually developed for the Wii and then ported to the PSP and PS2. We are playing the PS2 version because the PS2 version is the fastest, because there is one cutscene in the Wii version that is in-engine. And it's just like, yeah, no, you can't skip it. And it's like, oh, but we can skip it here. Again, I don't even know, like, most of those questions that I'm answering yes, 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 no, no, yes, yes, but that's the fastest solution we have. And then we get into gameplay. So it goes Kaufman section, gameplay, Kaufman section, gameplay, kind of thing, and then towards the end, it's double Kaufman, double gameplay. Also,
that sounds accurate.
Is anybody a fan of the video game Heavy Rain and the Jason button? Well, this game has a Cheryl button for the first 4 minutes of the run.
Cheryl?
Yeah, Cheryl. Also, I was going to say a thing because Amber is a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and fun fact, the voice actor for Mr. Harry Mason here is the current voice of Shadow the Hedgehog. He's been voicing... Yeah, he started voicing Shadow... He started voicing Shadow the Hedgehog the same year as this game came out. And he's been voicing him ever since.
Nice.
Also, if you're wondering why we're turning off the flashlight, it's because of frames.
Yeah. So the Wii version was considered the fastest version for a long time, even despite the unskippable cutscene, just because it runs so much better. But yeah, no, turns out that just because of that cutscene, Wii version is actually the slowest version. Even the PSP version is faster for some reason, even though in the chase sequences, you drop down to single-digit frame rates. Great.
Now, I know nothing about the Wii version, but a funny thing about this game is this game does support 16:9 on the PS2, hence why you're seeing some a black box around the gameplay, and the game runs better in 16:9 than it does 4:3. I don't know if the Wii version is 16:9, so that might be a potential cause.
Yeah, so the funny thing about that is the reason it runs better on widescreen is because instead of expanding the screen like you might expect, they literally just take the 4:3 feed and chop it. So you're actually getting less rendering on widescreen, and that's why it runs better.
Oh. Bad luck on the keys. Also, depending how you answer those first set of questions will determine what cans we get, as well as how Sybil looks. Also, to anybody that was enjoying the Cheryl button, we're about to lose it the second I get into the diner. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but it lived a good run. So there we go, we've met Sybil, and then we have a phone call to make once I go back outside. You can actually call Konami tech support, though it does nothing. But if you wanted to, you could. So 555-3825.
My favorite support group.
There we go. Sorry, I had to be quiet there because I was trying to wait and hear the breathing. Once you hear that first breath, you can hang up. You don't have to wait for the entire phone call, but that's what summons the UFOs. We have to take a picture of 13 of them in total.
Yeah, the first one which is like basically right here over the fence.
Yep. And fun fact, if you forget to call and you've hit this area, if you go back through the door, it will respawn the UFO here. But if you're calling and you're in this area, it'll go, no, I'm not gonna spawn in. No, Harry, don't go through that door, please.
Door memes.
Indeed, door memes.
Yeah, Harry has a function where he automatically interacts with anything close to him if you're sprinting, so that can happen.
Hooray! And then we're going to mash X so that we can answer the phone call as fast as possible, because if you wait to answer the phone, it takes longer to get into the first chase sequence. Or the combat, if you will. There's no real combat in this game. The closest thing we get is pushing enemies off of us if they grab us.
Which ironically is another thing that PSP and console have advantage over Wii with, because, you know, on PS2 there's no motion controls, so to throw off the enemies you just push one of the face buttons corresponding to the direction that it's attacking you from. Whereas on the Wii you have to actually like throw them off in the right direction, and that does not work sometimes.
Oh dear. So I don't think any of us have tried this yet, but has anybody tried running Shattered Memories on a backwards compatible PS3? Because I imagine that running the game on Wii U is faster for the Wii version, because there are a few runs that have been done on Wii U, but I've noticed that nobody's tried PS3.
So I was going to, but when I purchased my backwards compatible PS3, I accidentally put in the address of the previous apartment that I had been staying at.
Oh no.
Which is a very expensive mishap, but there you go.
Oh dear. Speaking of PlayStation 3s, did you know that the 80 gig PS3 is emulated PS2, whereas the 60 gig is physical? And if you ever want to know which version you have, put in Ratchet and Clank. If Ratchet and Clank plays, you have the original 60 gig. If it doesn't play, you have an 80 gig, because Ratchet and Clank cannot be emulated properly.
That's
Here we go. First run through. And now we have the coloring. If you color in this picture, the next scene will be those colors. But we're not going to do that, despite the fact that he wants us to let out our inner child and color in the picture.
I mean, we are coloring it, we're just coloring it all white.
You're giving me that.
Fair enough.
I'm talking too much. Well, let's have you talk, or not, or whatever you feel comfortable doing. Let's play true or false. Is it true to say you're a private person?
Again, these
Would you say it takes a while for
dialogue choices that we're making here are actually important to the run, because they determine the presentation of the characters that we meet. And in this case, it influences a conversation that we have with Officer Sybil Bennett during a police car segment later on.
Nothing surprising there.
It's actually coming up right now.
You're going to like this.
Yeah, fair.
Table are some
So yeah,
pictures of the
each
picture.
conversation piece equals fastest dialogue. So all these answers are the fastest possible dialogue that we can have. You finished? Yes.
What a lovely family.
Yeah, so if Abby had just accidentally picked the wrong choice on one of those questions, then we would be sitting in the police car for about 30 seconds longer.
Is it really 30 seconds longer? Ouch.
Yeah, it's not good.
So there's also a mystery unfolding because obviously Harry just went to his house and he doesn't live there anymore, so he's very confused. The game will reveal all. Also, this is a speedrun strat I'm doing right now by bouncing back and forth because it speeds up the dialogue in the next scene. Because she'll be like, "You're very restless," and it's like, "Of course we're restless."
Sorry,
I don't know how much time it saves, but it does save time.
What is with all this snow?
It's also fairly significant, actually.
Oh, is it?
We didn't hear about this till it was happening.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but it is not a short amount of time.
Town is being punished.
She has like a full-blown conversation with you if you don't get that prompt, but if you do, she basically just stops talking immediately after, like, "Of course I'm restless, my daughter's out there."
In this blizzard and she's 7.
You're very restless back there, Mr. Mason. Anything you want to tell me?
There's also another category called All Mementos. And that one is a bit more complicated because you can't actually tell if you've collected all the mementos, whereas this ending, well, we get a different ending. Whereas the All Mementos ending is the same as any %, but at the end she closes a box full of stuff instead of a box of nothing. But you can't physically see all the items that you've collected.
I'm going to see exactly where we are.
So it's like, oh. So right now I'm staring this way and we're gonna jump to be able to unlock the door. Again, this was a Wii game, so that's why there's all these sort of motion control-esque things going on.
This is also really hard on the PSP considering you don't have a right stick.
Oh. I forgot about that. Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, all of this from the person who, for a very small amount of time, actually held a record for this game on the PSP version.
So here is where we get our first path deviation from any % in all mementos. So all mementos, you don't even follow that dirt path. However, we have to take the dirt path because it leads to the second UFO. But we don't want to go on the dirt path because the dirt path winds and turns. So we're just going to walk on the snowbank to save a tiny bit of time. All mementos and any % go far off to the left and go through a completely different door.
Yeah, one of the mementos is actually in that water tower that we passed by.
Yeah. And there's 25 of them in total. And it's like, ah-ha-ha. So here we go. UFO number 2. We'll receive a text message every time. So that's how you can keep track of it. Unfortunately, the game, I don't think, keeps track of mementos at all. But
you
the fact
can
that
open the box in your inventory at any time, but, like, obviously that's just slow.
Yeah. And obviously UFO ending is superior because you actually get a different ending. Whereas all mementos is the same ending you would get in any %, which is weird. But it is what it is. Originally, Shattered Memories wasn't even supposed to be a retelling of Silent Hill 1. It was supposed to be a completely different game. If I remember correctly, the title was Cold Hearted.
Just Cold Heart, I think.
Yeah, and it was still going to be a Wii game, but it wasn't going to be a non-combat game, and for whatever reason, Konami was like, nope, redo Silent Hill 1.
Teeny tiny UFO. Just hanging out.
Yep. They are easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for. Also, we're only picking up 2 phone calls in the entire game because recently it was discovered that you don't have to do the Lisa call anymore. So also there's a puzzle coming up about 2/3 through the run where you would have to feed Lisa the wrong pill in order to get a faster dialogue. However, now it doesn't matter because we're not going to answer the phone. There are 2 phone calls that need to be answered, and that's that first one with Cheryl, because the event won't start, and then the next one is after this chase because it won't end into the Kaufman section until you pick up and the conversation goes through.
So have you ever gotten the glitch where you open the door right as it unlocks and you have to go back in and restart everything?
No.
Good.
No, I have not.
Yeah, so if you open that door, the frame that it unlocks, you go outside to the normal world instead of the other world, and then you have to go back in and trigger the other world transition all over again.
Oh, I thought you meant like you had to restart the run completely.
Oh, no.
You just made the transition. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I've never had that happen either.
Anyway,
So-
here's our second chase, and this one is one of my least favorites because there's a lot of RNG involved with these enemies.
And something we forgot to mention during the first chase is when they scream, we get a 20% speed boost. Granted, that also means they found us, which also means they have the chance to grab us, as we saw there. The flare keeps them away, the flashlight does not. It's kind of weird. Because it seems like the light from the flare is the thing they're afraid of. So it's like, okay, well, if you're afraid of light, why doesn't the flashlight work? Question mark. But either way, we're gonna get another flare because this chase kind of gets split in 2. Also, fun fact about this song, it shares similarities with a song from Silent Hill 2, specifically a song that shows up in Born from a Wish, which is called Terror Through the Fog. This version is called The Devil's Laughter, or Devil's Laughter, and it just adds, the laughing, basically, and, it's kind of in a different key and whatnot, but the 2 are very similar. Yes, we're just running along here. They never seem to chase you if you stick to the top. Yes,
Yeah.
we keep going. And then we have a piano puzzle to solve.
Also, I don't know if anybody else realized watching this, but when you light that flare, your frame rate tanks super hard. So if you can avoid it, it's actually faster to just not use the flare at all. But, obviously, sometimes you can't help it.
Apparently, if you back out, it just negates the entire puzzle. Which I didn't know was going to be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hence why I just hit the chicken. See, I wondered if it would tank the, frame rate on a PS3, because we do know that games will run faster on a PS3.
Yeah, I figure at the very least you'll be able to go through the doors a lot more quickly.
Fortunate that we got grabbed there. Eventually, Harry will limp. And then basically go down to a crawl in terms of speed. Here we go. Run. Yeah. We're almost through here. You can knock things over. I don't know if they can jump over the things that you can knock over, because I've never looked back and been like, can you jump over this? But it looks like we were kind of front-loaded on the second half of the chase, so we shouldn't have any problems for the rest of it. usually I find that if I'm getting grabbed in the beginning of the second part of the chase, everyone's behind me at this point. I lied. There's a guy right there.
Yeah, but
Nice
he's separated
dodge.
by the gap. You might be okay.
Kind of close. By the way, there is a look back button. But we should be fine.
Dang.
It's fine. We're not limping. That's the important part. As we continue to run.
Back to the
Alright.
normal world.
Yep. If you wanted to get the 6th momentum, you would go to the back of that blue car. But we're not after those, so we won't be getting those. As we head into the 3rd Kaufman, which is all about high school. And also, again, I am Canadian, so I don't know about the American school system, but 2 of those options are basketball and football as 2 separate classes. I do not know if people in America are taught football and basketball separately.
So, like, my school did not do this, but some schools near me did, where if you played a sport, your sport could be the last class block of the day. So you can basically just go and practice early.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm out of the woods. I'm on a
So that is a thing, just not everywhere.
Listen, Harry, Midwich has a
Okay.
gym. They often use it as an emergency shelter in severe weather. Go to the gym and wait there for me.
Emergency shelter. Cheryl could have been taken there.
Yes, Cheryl could be there. Will you do this for me?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, but if Cheryl's not,
You
there, I
don't
can't
have to
wait.
move
I'm sorry,
during
I
this,
just
by the
can't.
way. You
Harry,
just need to pick up the phone and then you're good. And then we're back to Kaufman's office. Fun fact that I
So
found
we
out
get
the
to
other day.
halcyon day
If
of high
you
school.
are just staring down
When I
at
was starting
something
out, the popular
and you
theory
don't
said it
move
was their
because you're
mom and dad
anticipating to
that
just do
screwed
the
a person
puzzle,
up.
he will
But if
stall.
you really want to screw someone up, I say,
And it's
send them
like,
to high school.
oh, well,
Bet
okay
you took
then.
studying seriously. Nice folders and neat work.
So something to keep in mind.
Okay, let's move on. I'm going to throw out
I mean, I
some
couldn't tell you the last time that I
Not
ran this
when you
game
know
without
how you
diss tray
were.
shenanigans, so.
Shake your head if they don't. Ready?
Fair enough.
Jock. Next. Slut. Drunk.
There's only 2 answers that we say no to.
Ah, virgin.
I don't know what happens if you answer one of these wrong. I think it changes.
It changes Dahlia.
Oh, it changes
And
Dahlia? Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
kind of thought.
slacker.
Yeah, there's 3 different versions of Dahlia in this game, and
Okay.
the answers that you pick
Let's
here
take a different
change
tack.
whether she's.
On the
I think she
table,
can either
I've
be,
laid out a
like,
blank timetable
goth,
and some
slutty, or
cards with
preppy,
lessons
are
on
the
it.
3
Pick
options.
out the lessons to show me your perfect school day.
Wait, isn't there a 4th one? Because
There
isn't
are
the
only
4th
4
one she also
periods,
looks
and
like how she
I'll
looks
allocate
like,
a very generous
as spoilers, Cheryl's mother? Like if you see the videotapes where she's wearing the pink top? Because there's...
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Nice. If that was all there was
I know
to
I've
it,
only
what
gotten
about
those
these
3,
ones?
just randomly pushing buttons through
Let's
there,
talk more
but
about the bad stuff
maybe.
that
That's
happened at
fair.
school.
Alright, we're going to talk about the bad stuff that happened in school. By the way, we're just picking the closest answers, which were the 4 on the right. There's no specific reason for which classes we choose. It's just that it's faster to grab those 4. There's another puzzle that's going to come up after this next section. This section's kind of longish in comparison to the others. Also, we just took a picture of UFO number 4. There's going to be a long time between UFO 7 and 8, which is kind of odd how they're kind of spread out, but it's fine.
Yeah. Also, isn't it great how the game that psychologically profiles you just completely ignores the actual profiling activities of the game?
Yeah, but it's probably...
True. Oh yeah, you know, we never really mentioned either how like at the very start on the way to the diner, you actually have two different paths that you can take because this game loves diverging paths where you can pick one or the other. Doesn't really make any impact on your, well, I mean, it affects what ending you get, but yeah.
Although the
Anytime
other
there's a
path
route
is longer.
divergence. Yeah. But anytime there's a route divergence, you just pick one of the two paths, and as soon as you step foot into the puzzle area, it locks the door to the other room.
Yeah, and the path that I didn't take is slightly longer because there's a couple more extra puzzles that you have to do. And it's like, oh no. But, yeah. I've only ever done that path once.
Yeah, the
just to
reason
see
I
what
bring
it
that
was.
up is because we have another route divergence that's coming up, and this one's actually kind of interesting because the one that we opt for is the art room, which is technically longer than the planetarium by just a few button inputs. But the reason we don't do that path is because it affects another car riding sequence later on in the game that again is a significant time loss.
Also, don't you still have to find the number for the planetarium?
No.
Whereas with the... Oh, you don't? Oh.
No, you can just put it in. And it's like
Oh.
2 inputs less. It's not a huge difference, but it is there.
Oh. I literally thought it was because you still had to find the planetarium number even if you knew it. But it would make sense that it would probably change a car ride to be longer. Also, there are only 2 UFOs that you have to get relatively close to in order to actually get the game to recognize that you took a picture, because as you might have noticed, that picture was pretty far away from the object. And those are the 7th UFO, which is actually coming up here, and the 13th UFO. It really wants you to get close, despite the fact of how giant it is. So here we go. The art room, which is 555-8465.
I thought you got lucky and got first ring.
I think I hung up too early. Yeah, I did.
Somewhere else.
Lol. Alright, do that again. I also thought I got it early because it sounded like it, and then it
Yeah,
went, no,
cut
there we
off.
go. Alright, not bad.
That's another fun little bit of RNG. Anytime you make a phone call in this game, you can get anywhere from half a ring to 3 full rings.
And then 1031. Also, those shadows that you're hearing are supposedly Cheryl. But they have nothing to do with Cheryl 90% of the time. You can find like 18 of them throughout the game, and like it's just like it's what the messages are sometimes that you'll see pop up, but because I'm not going out and finding them, there's also no shadow category. I don't know where all 18 of them are, but they are kind of strewn about. Now comes the worst part of the game, potentially. Oh boy. The passwords. All right, we got geology.
Okay. It's not bad.
Oh, but there are 2 options that haunt everyone. All right, Valerie.
Also not bad. Are we a fan of Shakespeare today?
Please don't. Emma would be so happy, but no. Oh, thank God.
Good.
Because it will ask you to spell out 12th Night, which is...
Space included.
Yep. And also racquetball is is also a potential option. And they are both terrible. Please spell Sunday. It'd be most helpful.
Hawaii is one of the better ones. There's also Nikki and Otto are the two shortest ones.
Yeah, Nikki is 5 and
You break it?
Otto is 4.
With a repeat, too.
Yeah, and then Hawaii, I think, is the 3rd shortest because of the repeat.
You know, because
Though
of
it
the
might
accident?
be Shiners.
Street.
Might
It's not a
be.
great neighborhood. Why would we move?
The Shiners is the same length, but the
I guess the cop was
repeat
right.
character
My ID
puts
was old. That was my
Hawaii in
house.
better favor.
What else did I forget?
Plus, A and W
There's
are
a
very
phone
close
number.
together.
Why'd you call it?
True.
I will. There's no reception. I'll be outside.
Good
Now,
luck.
he says he's going to be outside. He doesn't mean outside. He means he literally just
No,
walked out the
Dahlia.
room and
You want me to
somehow
find
gets
her?
service.
Who's calling?
It's her father, Harry Mason. Is she okay?
Harry?
Is she okay?
Who the hell do you think you are?
Sorry? What's
Now, of
Leave
course,
me alone!
Harry's looking for his daughter, but never questions the mother of the child, and seems to forget that, you know, that's a thing that's needed for, you know, children to exist. And it's like, Harry, of course, the game reveals more about what's exactly going on and why everything's so cold. As we continue here, this is one of the longer chases. It's not too difficult as we're going here.
I actually kind of like this one because a lot of times it's possible to get dude speed real early on, and then you just kind of zoom past everyone.
Yeah. But there is no dude speed right now. Surprisingly. Really? Okay, there we go. I'm like, are we gonna get it? Please. This is another chase that's also split in 2. Because once we get into this building here, it turns into a puzzle. Where it's going to ask us to go back out, and find 3 pictures. Once we've taken all 3 pictures, it's like, okay, you can leave now. But also, none of the Rorschachs are around us. So here we go. Picture number 1.
For now, you mean?
Yeah, they're not around us for now. However, apparently, I found a strat last year. And we kind of don't see the Rorschachs anymore because of that. And that's by going this way that I'm specifically going. So there we go. There's picture number 2. And then we're going this way.
We used to grab the car last. The change in route doesn't really make much of a difference because you're basically just going in a circle either way. But for some reason, going this direction makes it where the Rorschachs just don't spawn until way later.
They're all out by the football field. That's the only logical explanation, because you can kind of see part of the football field if you like go out and explore. Granted, if you get attacked too much, you can die and also significantly slow down. Wow, there's like nobody here at all. This is not... Oh, there's somebody. Light the flare so that they leave me alone and then immediately drop it. Because it'll still keep them at bay. There we go.
It's really funny. As much as they hate the flare, they will literally like huddle around it once you drop it.
Harry?
It's hard to
I was
say.
about to head off, but thought I ought to wait a little longer.
Thanks.
You okay? Any
So
luck
now
with
we
the
have
car?
our first
They didn't make
walking
any
segment.
sense.
We haven't figured out a way how to get past
That's the other
Michelle
side of town.
and have her push us forward
You got
like
a
we
car.
can with Lisa later
I
on.
was planning on getting a ride with
Um,
John.
So it's
There's my
kind of
boss's
like,
SUV.
aha.
I'm looking after it while she's on
But
vacation. It's
we
at the
cannot
club where I
run.
work, not far from here.
We can only
I could
walk.
give you a lift.
That would be great. Lead the way.
So here we go.
You want my jacket? You're going to freeze.
I'm used to running around in a dress. I'm too hot-blooded to feel the cold.
I feel bad. You're sure?
Yeah, keep it. You're the car crash guy. You thinking about your daughter?
Constantly.
So yeah, they're just gonna
I'm
have
sure
a
she's okay.
conversation. We're just gonna slowly
Get around
walk
it.
to
She was
the
in the bed
club.
sleeping, then the crash. She was gone.
Your head is still jumbled up, Harry. You just give
And
it
we
a
get to
while,
kind
okay?
of
You should
see
go
our
see a doctor.
surroundings.
I'll make sure.
Again, the
Cheryl's safe.
flashlight
Don't
is
worry.
off for frame rate purposes. So keep that light off, and luckily Harry doesn't have James and Heather issues where they need the flashlight on to see doors and locks and what have you, or to pick up items. I don't know if Harry has it, because spoilers, facts, whatever you would like to call it. I have never
It's
played
not
Silent
now.
Hill
The Boston
1.
is the hottest nightclub in town.
Never heard of it.
Really? It's pretty
Okay.
popular.
You
Yeah,
work there, right? What do
I
you do?
I still haven't
sing.
played it.
Sometimes I mix drinks. It's a temporary thing while John and I sort things out. He's staying in Massachusetts. He's a lawyer. We need to decide if I'm going to move out there.
This dialogue is very funny in hindsight,
Yeah.
because as you can see, she's very passionate about John.
And John?
However, because of how we're going to answer a Leader Kaufman section, she's going to break off that
Now
relationship.
we're out in the world, living our lives.
And it's like, oh,
John's a lucky guy.
well, that changed
He's probably
quickly.
just lousy at showing it. I know lawyers. They're not so
And again,
touchy-feely.
if we choose the other dialogue options, that car ride will take longer, but it will be the other
Say
person
absence
ending
makes
the
heart grow
relationship.
fonder.
You believe that?
Absolutely.
But John's a lucky guy.
Yeah. Also, Michelle's going to mysteriously vanish when we grab the car keys. It's never really explained where she disappears to. She just disappears. So now we're running up the stairs and heading into a room. You're going to interact with the purse. No, Harry, don't look at your phone. You were supposed to look at this. Thank you. The third option will be where the keys are every time.
Oh, nobody. Just
I used to go for the cookie jar and then stop that. And then we can leave. However, Michelle is not there. Instead, we are introduced to Dahlia. So,
Are we the only people
you
on
know,
the
we're
road?
just sitting
Because that
here.
means we don't have to stop for any red lights.
We're not gonna stop for any red lights. We're gonna cut up on
Screw
Kincaid.
that. Let's cut up on Kincaid.
Is
You're very
You know.
quiet there, Harry.
break the
You're not
rules in a
upset, are you?
snowstorm?
I think I'm losing my mind.
Don't
What?
do that. That's very bad.
I don't know. A few years.
Very bad
I don't know
idea.
you. I can't remember.
So
you
they're
since
just
the
having
car
a
crash.
conversation,
Nothing
being like,
makes
"Wait,
sense.
we know each
Don't
other,"
do
and
this
it's like,
to me,
"Yes, Harry.
Don't start tripping
This
out on me. When you said
is
crashed
your
car,
wife.
You didn't mention this.
The mother of your child."
No pain, and I can remember most things. Just sometimes.
We're also coming up on a puzzle
Details I
shortly.
try to focus, but
And then
the
it's
rest
back
of
to
the
our
way.
good friend Kaufman after we do two
You really
puzzles.
don't know who I am.
No.
Sid and Nancy?
Who are Sid and Nancy?
My tits? You named them?
We're sleeping together?
This is a joke, right? A really
That's
lame joke.
how children works, Harry. Good job. Good job figuring it out.
So for this puzzle, green we don't do anything for, so we either want it first or last. Because if it's first, we can pull down the other 3 somewhat fully down, but not all the way. And if it's last, we can head through the door. But one important thing to remember is that if it's the last one, if you hit the door before the sound of the bridge goes off, you lose and have to start all over again, because it will cancel that out. So there we go. The bridge is ready.
Bridge is ready.
And this is the cutscene you can't skip on the Wii.
You know my daughter too? Why is this not freaking you out, me not knowing you?
This isn't the first time you've acted weird, Harry.
What does that mean? Be straight with me.
Stop it.
If you know my daughter...
I know of her. Let's not go there.
So what are you to me?
Why do you
Of course, I wouldn't have stopped on a bridge that can go up. I would have waited for this conversation afterwards. But also, if you get the other dialogue option, Dahlia, no matter what, will stop in the middle of the bridge. And be like, stop screwing with me. Such and such and such things. I don't know if opening the windows makes this go faster, but we've got nothing to do anyway. So we're gonna open up all the windows. Fun fact.
Windows yes, doors no.
Depending how you're looking at those rollers, the camera will stop them from being able to be turned all the way, so you want to make sure that each of the rollers are fully viewable when you're looking at them. Otherwise, it's kind of like, not gonna let you do the thing. Oh, shattered memories, why do you do such things? So right now we're just waiting to hit the bottom, and we might be able to do a glitch. Possibly.
A small one, but it exists. It does help.
We got it. No, we don't.
Nice.
I apparently... Wait, what? I can't move. Oh no. I can't move. I can't move. Well, this is new. I can't move. I can't do anything. Welp.
So
This is new. Yeah. Might be best.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, we had a little bit of discussion off air, and tonight's kind of been a scuff night with Amber losing power and the run hard locking. So we have decided that it would be best to have the run rescheduled. So we're actually going to be ending here. We'll have Amber reschedule this run for another show. I'm going to hand it over to you two so you can do any shout outs or any closing thoughts you have before we go.
Okay, so I would like to thank Church for stepping in very last minute. Also would like to thank Shmumbler for coming to do commentary to this cursed run. Please go follow Shmumbler. He runs this game sometimes and also runs Homecoming, among many different other games too. Yeah, and I also run this game from time to time. I also run other horror games like Silent Hill 2, both original and the remake. Among many different types of horror games. I'll actually be back later this month for Fright Fatales doing Illbleed. Yeah. So yeah. You will see my face sooner rather than later. Shmumbler, is there anything else you would like to promote?
Watch more Abby. She's great.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to promote yourself.
Nah.
Okay, fine. Have it your way. But yeah, I'll be running Illbleed on the 26th for Fright Fatales. And yeah, and I'll be doing this as a redemption run, hopefully in the near future. But thank you for having me, and yeah, I'll be doing a lot of horror speedruns.
And thank you both for coming on. I know the run didn't exactly go as planned, but you still showed up to try and showcase the game. So hopefully Amber will be able to schedule you two in back within the next couple shows here. With that said, again, sorry everybody. Sometimes you just run into a hard luck that you've never seen before, and that's the end of it. Welcome to speedrunning.
Yep.
With all that said, we don't have anything else for you tonight. We do have DRDQ coming up tomorrow. Games and Quick's going to be hosting a weekend event. Starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, going through, I think it's 56 hours. That's going to be raising money for direct relief in support of everybody who's been affected by the hurricanes recently. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for that. You can use !DRDQ in Twitch chat to look at the schedule, learn a little bit more, and we'll see you this weekend.